Hello and welcome to Chatting with the Chief. This is a brand new segment that will allow the police chief to connect and share information with the community. I'm Demetrius Sherrod and I'm joined here by Chief Mike Register. Chief, thank you so much for joining us. Good afternoon. And I want to jump right in here. I know the Faith Forum is one of your passions coming in. Can you explain to us what the Faith Forum is and why you think it's important to the community?
Well, first, I want to tell you I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and hopefully these segments that we do going forward will be very informative for the community, the great community that we serve. But the Faith Forum, we just had our second Faith Forum. The topic of the second Faith Forum was teen violence and gangs. Very satisfied very satisfied with the Faith Forum. We had a lot of participation in it, and hopefully when we have our third Faith Forum in February, the subject is yet to be determined. We're thinking about doing a survey to see what subjects the community and the institutions of faith want to discuss. But the Faith Forum itself is an initiative where we reach out to the institutions of faith here in Cobb County because they're so very important. Institutions of faith are important entities in all communities across the country because, you know, historically the church and institutions of faith have been where the community would go in times of trouble to find answers to questions they may have. To get rejuvenated. And certainly we want to use the institutions of faith with the Cobb County Police Department as a communication vehicle, as a conduit of communication. We want to discuss pertinent issues, and we want the institutions of faith to give us feedback, but also to help us find solutions to some of the problems that you know, the community faces from a crime standpoint, from a social standpoint, and also, as I stated, we want to use them as a vehicle of communication so they can take our message back.
Okay. Now, going forward, I know you said that you plan to hold the Faith Forums about quarterly. What can we look forward to in the future with the Faith Forums and maybe some possible topics going forward?
Well, certainly we want it to grow. We want more and more of the institutions of faith to participate, but also citizens are able to participate too. When we have a faith forum, it's not just open to the clergy, but we love to have the community to come to share in this discussion with us between the police department and the clergy, all denominations. And we want it to grow, but we also want to make sure that the topics are pertinent to the time. For instance, we'll continually talk about police and community relations in the upcoming Faith Forums because I think that no matter what other subject we talk about, there is still a foundational undercurrent of trying to improve relationships between the police and the community and using the clergy to help do that. But as stated, as we go forward, I don't think that we're done with the conversation about teen violence and gangs here in the county, and not just the county, but across the metro area, across the country. We have got to work as a community to stop kids from killing kids, to decrease gang presence and gang affiliation. It's easy for me as a police officer to say, don't join a gang, but what is the alternative to some of these children and these kids? And so we certainly have to continue to discuss and talk about that. And in February, I can't tell you what the subject matter is, as I've stated, but we are going to seek input from the community and the institutions of faith to try to determine a good topic that is important to all.
Sounds good. Now, I know another one of your passions is the Community Affairs Unit. I know this is newly formed. Can you tell us what your vision is for the Community Affairs Unit and what they actually do?
Okay. Well, you know, when I took over as police chief, we had a quality of life unit, and really it was made up of one sergeant and two officers, and they were responsible for the whole county. And when we talk about quality of life, we're really talking about code enforcement type issues and other issues that impact the quality of life here in Cobb County, whether it be illegal dumping or something of that nature. So what I did is I took the sergeant that is over the quality of life, and I used the officers that were already assigned, and then I had the precinct command dedicate one officer to the Community Affairs Unit. So now we have built a unit that has one sergeant, 5 officers, well 6, and I'll get to the 6th one in just a second, but 5 officers that have a dual mission. Certainly one is the quality of life mission, but the second is also community engagement. Helping the precinct majors facilitate their community engagement vision, helping me facilitate the overall community engagement vision, going out and engaging with the homeowner associations, helping the neighborhood watches become better, creating neighborhood watches, if there's community events, and coordinating police involvement in these community events. And the 6th officer is a Hispanic officer that has done a great job because we have a growing Hispanic population. And her job is to be a liaison with the Hispanic community and also an officer of community affairs. And she just recently created, I think with your help, a Spanish Facebook that has become very popular.
All right. I know the Community Affairs Unit has recently done a coat drive, and they participated in Thanks for Giving food drive as well. Will these hands-on type of projects continue to grow in the future?
Well, certainly. I think it shows that we care. From a police department standpoint, like you stated, the food drive, the coat drive, but it's also coats, gloves, and socks, because we want to give the gift of warmth to maybe some of the less fortunate citizens that we have in the county. But there's other initiatives that we are going to attempt in the future. One is called Chief for a Day. It's where hopefully we'll partner with the school system, and once or twice a month we'll have high school aged young people, maybe 1 or 2 at a time, come over. We'll pick them up at the school in a Cobb County police car. We'll bring them to headquarters. They will shadow me for a few hours the first part of the day, get a chance to see what it takes to run a police department, and hopefully help me make some decisions. And then we'll take the young people, and the command staff will have lunch with them, and then we'll get them back to their respective schools. And so I'm really excited about that, and I think it's just another initiative to try to bridge that gap between young people in the community and the police department, helping us try to understand each other.
Yeah, it sounds like a very great program. Hopefully the kids don't take your job too soon, but it sounds like a great outreach, and I think it'll be definitely good for the community. I think that's all the time we have for today. Be sure to join us next time, and be sure to follow the police department on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we'll see you next time.